Hello everybody, and welcome to our fifth and final unit for the 2018-2019 ELF year. Our overall theme is cycles, and our focus for this unit is bird calls, which is very fitting because I'm sure you've heard a lot more birds in the last couple weeks as spring begins to spring. So this is the intro and conclusion, and this should be a fun one. Birds are always high interest. Of course, I'm wearing my bird shirt. Okay, so for the introduction, if you want to connect it to the cycles, you can think of it as the birds having an annual cycle of they call more in the spring during breeding season, and then once they have their chicks, that's the spring and summer are their active calling seasons. So it's an annual cycle, and then also a daily cycle. They do their songs and their calls at different times, and there's some centers that specifically deal with the timing of when they sing. So there's a couple different ways to connect it to the overall theme of cycles. As always, the introduction has our trusty puppet show, well loved. And again, I encourage you, there's only 3 puppets on this one. I encourage you, if you have 3rd or 4th grade classrooms, to give the scripts to the teachers a day or 2 early and let them assign it to students, because the students really get into that and it's fun. But giving them some time to read over it can be helpful, so it's not a cold read. Or parents are always get into it, and that's fun too. The kids love it either way. And then for the conclusion, there's a lot for the intro and conclusion. So there's some on the front here, and then there's they have conclusions on the back of the lid, just so you know. There's a few different options. The one I'm going to encourage, and I put this in, you could do it as an alternative to the outdoor if you have bad weather, or you could add it on to a center that that might not have as much going on, or you could do it as a conclusion activity. It's a good take home though. So what we're doing is we're pretty much making a little nest materials bag for birds to hang in the yard, so that when they go to make their nests, they can come over and find some good stuff. So there'll be a few different, we're waiting on a couple things, but there'll be a few different piles, some yarn, some batting, there'll be a couple other things, some feathers and some different string that you can put in there. And then you tie it with a bigger piece of yarn that then you can hang from the tree. And then you carefully have students cut some holes so that the birds it'll be a little fuller once you get everything in there, so that the birds can reach in and pull out what they want to use for their nest. So it's kind of a fun way to talk about how birds make their nests and help them out a little bit, and a little take home. And then we'll have Ziploc bags you can put them in. So that's a good conclusion one, or you can add it onto one of the centers that seems a little bit less, where you might have the time, because it won't take very long, but I think it's a good one to have the students do. Any other questions? There's some more information on the sheets, and you can always email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com. But have fun with this one, and let us know if any materials get low. And please try to keep the bins a little bit more organized, putting things back in folders and all that jazz. So thank you so much for your help, and happy spring.